Chapter 10. Meanwhile.
The dark figure was imposing as he strode through the door. With a small bow, the guard opened the door. "Renard," a vampire said as he walked into the room. "Greetings, all," Renard said, and he walked into his desk. There was close to 10 vampires in the room, all very powerful, but Renard dwarfed all their power. Anyone could see it merely by the way that other vampires treated him. His eyes flared red. He sighed deep and then looked up to the other vampires in the room. "I am disturbed by the news I have been hearing," Renard said, his voice grave and deep. "We are moving to retake L.A. soon," one vampire defended. Renard chuckled. "It is not with L.A. that I am concerned. It is these rumors that bother me. I do not want that information about the method to avoid the blood addiction to spread more than it already has." Renard smiled. "We can call it a rumor and discredit it somehow," one vampire suggested. "No." He stood up behind his desk and put his hands on the desk and faced them. He took a deep breath. He had waited a long time to make this statement. Renard thought back through his life. From the moment he realized what he was, he wanted more power. He had attempted a few times in the past, but always been thwarted by incompetence. This time it would be different. Everything was in place. He smiled, letting his long incisors be seen. "We no longer need to hide. Our time has come. The blood banks are in place. The time to strike is now. Tell your groups, the time has come to run rampant. Convert as many as you can, and we will stomp out this threat in L.A. once and for all," he snarled. "The time has come, my friends." Renard smiled. It caused a stir in the others. They had planned and worked for so many years, never knowing when the day would come. Now Renard would take what was rightfully his, the world. "We no longer need to hide in the shadows. We shall take our rightful place at the top of the world. Tell your leaders the time has come," Renard said, the anger now easing from his presence. He waved them out of his office. They all made haste for the door. The day, their day, had finally come. Soon the office was cleared, excepting one. "It's still early," he said to Renard. Renard walked to the window and gazed out to the city below. He smiled again, his eyes burning red. "Yes, but not too early. I will not allow my nephew to gain more power," he returned. "As always, you speak wisely," the vampire said. "He is the only true threat to my plan now," Renard sneered. "What of Thenard?" Renard smiled. "My brother has hidden from me at every turn. He may have had the power long ago to stop me. But now he is passive. He was always weak, never fought for anything. He will not fight now, and if he does, he will be crushed along with his son. But I still say he shall hide," Renard spit out. "After the war has ended, we will destroy him and the rest of his people as they appear," Renard said, and looked back to the window. The lights of the city starting to come on to signal the coming of the night. "They are powerful," the other vampire observed. "No, they are weak, mired by their own morals. Power without the ability to wield it is the same as weakness," Renard smiled. "No, friend, my brother and his followers will have no issue for us. Only his son could cause a problem," Renard replied. "Then tonight is yours," the vampire said. "Yes, and every night forevermore," Renard replied with a chuckle. "What if we could take your nephew out of the mix?" the vampire offered. "And how do you intend to do that?" Renard asked. The vampire began to explain his plan, and as he did, a smile grew larger on Renard's face. Outside the office, the other vampires went to the elevator and started the long ride down to the street. The doors parted, and the moment they hit the street, they were on their phones. Word started to spread. The day of the humans was over. Vampires would take their rightful place at the lead of the world. One call was not made. Darius's mentor sat in his limo looking at the number he would never get to call. "We shall have our revenge, Darius, I promise you," the vampire said, and closed his phone. He stared out the window, watching the evening take over the city.